Hello, Frank.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So you want to learn a little trade station today?
Yes, I just need to learn how to set it up. How to set
Okay.
up my work. I guess they call it a workspace on TradeStation.
Yes, they do. Now, I have to ask you, would you mind if I record this and then post it to YouTube? Because it'd be great for other people to know how to start up TradeStation.
No, I don't mind. As long as
Okay,
they
thank
can take my accent.
you. Where are you from?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
I used to have an accent like yours, and so do all my cousins. I was originally from North Carolina.
Uh, yeah, the accents are they're pretty similar. I
Yeah,
grew
they're
up
similar.
in the top of Texas, so I was really out in the sticks.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Okay, I'm ready for you to share your screen with me. And when you share your screen, then I can navigate around it.
Okay, how do I do that?
Go down to the bottom of the Zoom window and click on the green button that says share screen.
Okay. And then do I need to click on any certain screen? My
Yeah,
trade.
you need to tell it which monitor I'm get to look at. One, two, three, four, whatever you have. There we go. Now it's working.
Okay.
Now, can you make that bigger? Can we let me do something. Oh, that's good. I'm going to request remote control so I can point you around and show you my mouse.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a a workspace in a desktop. So the
Right.
desktop is this entire thing around here with the icons and everything. That's your desktop.
Right.
Within a desktop, you can put several workspaces.
Okay.
Okay. And it's kind of like your desktop at work, just like a desk. And you're going to put several file folders on there with different projects you're working on. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to click on this icon right here that says chart analysis. Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to bring up a chart by clicking on chart analysis. And it usually brings up Cisco. Oh, brought up something else.
That's oil futures.
Okay, micros.
Yes.
All right, very good. Is that what you trade, oil?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then we're going to click on this maximize box right up here at the top of the chart. And we're just going to make it big.
I'll put annotate. Okay. Up here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then we should probably save this work so we don't lose it. So we're going to go File, Desktops, Save Desktop As. And that will save the desktop. And I just always call it desktop number one.
Okay.
So we say save. You have a question?
Well, so you save it as a desktop, not as a workspace.
We have to save both.
Okay.
So the desktop I like to save first. And then I'm going to say File, Save Workspace. So I go to Workspaces, Save Workspace As. And we're going to call this one Micro Crude Light.
Okay.
Okay. And that's saving this in the workspaces. Now, I usually put a date after my things so I know which day I was doing it on. And I use the format 20230518 for today. That way they all sort numerically. If you put dates with 051823, when you sort them, that will be right next to 051822 and next to 051821, which is not what you really want.
And you do it how?
I put the year first
Okay.
and then the month and the day.
Okay. To
And
get a
that way they sort properly. Okay, so we've got a chart. Now all we have to do is draw something on the chart. So we can go up to drawing. Well, let's see. Let's go to time frame first. So you can look at any of these time frames on this chart. You can see a daily chart of it. You can go up the time frame and go back to your 5-minute chart. So you can see any time frame you're interested in. Okay. Now we can draw. And one of the most common things to draw is a horizontal line. And I call these things attractors. So we can draw this line down here at this bottom that's sticking out. And let's do this. Let's go right click on that attractor. And we're going to edit. And we're going to change the style. We're going to make it orange because all the Sunny's attractors are drawn as orange. And then we're going to make it thicker than that so we can actually see it. And I'm going to have this recording available for you too, okay? Why isn't this coming up?
Do you have a desktop that you can that you could share? I mean, I know I want to go through this and learn how to use it, but do you just share your desktop so that people can see exactly how you have things set up?
Sure, I can do that. I'm trying to get this thing to work here first. For some reason, I can't get it to,
Let me see if I can do
see if you can pull that down to a thicker line width.
it. There
There
it
you
is.
go. There you go. So now let's just say okay. Okay, now we've got a nice thick line there. Now, let me share my desktop with you so you can see just exactly what I do. Share. Yes. And it's screen number 5. And that's how I trade right there.
Where did it go? Oh, oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
So I've got a 1 minute on the left. I always make my 1 minutes yellow.
Right,
I always make my 5 minutes green. And then I've got a 15-minute that's very light gray.
right.
Okay. Now I have sunny bands on all 3 of these charts, which you can see.
Mm,
I also have some horizontal lines that are the session open, session low, and session high. And this is same thing, session open, high, low, except different colors because we're in the afternoon session now. And here's what I do. I go studies, edit studies, and we want this indicator on. So we're going to status that on real quick. And you'll see that these bars are now a different color. I'm going to maximize this window. And you can see the red and green bars during the day session, blue and magenta bars in the night session. So they're kind of a nighttime color for me. All right. And then so that's the night session. And this is the day session. And if you go down here, now watch what happens when I do this. If I go down to the bottom of my chart, see how it brings up these 4 icons?
yes.
So that's decrease spacing, increase spacing, and here's a magnifying glass and a get out of the magnifying glass icon. Zoom out and zoom in. So if I decrease the spacing, see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now I can get back to yesterday's night session. See that? Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, so that's yesterday's night session. And this green and red is today's day session. So let's go ahead and minimize that again. And here's my 5 minute, same idea. So we've got the session highs and lows. We've got this indicator down on the bottom that's very colorful. This is my dynamic moving average histogram. And it helps me read the sunny band signals because right here, for instance, is a sunny band's buy signal. And if I look down here and this bar is green, that tells me, yes, it's safe to go ahead and buy. And so the buy signal goes from right here all the way up to right here. Pretty good buy signal there, huh?
And the reason it stops there is because you got a pink bar, a red bar, and it closes below the sunny band,
And the
or
actual reason it closes right there is because I don't trade past the close of the session.
okay. But typically, if that's not the reason to get out, what causes you to get out of a long trade?
All right. It's so let's say that right here we're long going up on this trade with
Right.
a red bar right there that comes inside the bands and another red, the one that confirms the down movement. So then I'm out.
So you have to have two red bars.
No, you have to have one bar and another bar that goes lower than the body of the signal candle.
Say that one more time.
All right, so right here's the signal candle. Let's make it a little
Yeah,
bigger.
big. Okay.
Okay, so right here's the signal candle. You see it?
Yes.
So we had a green going outside the bands, a red coming inside the bands, and you see where the body of this little bitty red candle is?
Yes.
All right. This bar right here goes lower than that.
So you don't wait for that bar to close, the second bar to close. You just go short as soon as that bar goes below the close of the previous bar, the close or the low of the previous bar.
Not the low. I'm looking for the body only, so it would be the close on a down candle.
So the second red bar there would have to close to go short, or you're going short
No,
as
the
soon.
second bar, I'm looking for it to go lower than the
Okay.
close of the previous bar, the
Okay.
signal bar. This is the signal bar.
Okay. So you
And
set your short order right there at the close of the signal bar then.
yes.
Okay. All right. That was one question I had.
All right, go ahead.
No, that was the main question. Sometime, let me ask you, have you ever tried this with Rinko bars?
I have, but I don't like them because they're not real.
Yeah, well, they sometimes have phantom bars.
Yeah.
So
They open and close at the open and close of the previous bar, which is not real. What about when you have a gap? A wrinkle bar doesn't show it to you.
yeah,
So I like to know exactly what's being traded.
yeah, it's just that even if you trade on the 1 minute, so much price movement can happen within a 1 minute period.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. But if you like wrinkle bars, yeah, you can do them.
So let me ask you again on this trade that you talked about up here, the short trade. You went short when that second red bar went, when its price went below the close of the previous bar. I guess you're calling that the signal bar.
Mm-hmm.
At the same point where you get out of the long that you were in previously.
Yes, yes. I do reversal trading primarily.
Okay, so you're getting out of the long and going short at the same price, pretty
Right,
much.
right.
Okay.
So when I click on my order bar here, I'll change this to a 10. So I'm not going to trade 5 contracts. I'm going to trade 10 contracts. And at that point, I would be selling.
And where do you keep that little trade bar?
It's called a quick trade bar.
Okay.
And you can get it by going up here to apps.
Yeah.
And these things are all alphabetical. So right there's quick trade bar.
Okay.
So you just bring it up that way. I keep it behind my charts. That way it's there and accessible. I leave room for it. And I'm watching and watching and watching. And when I want to trade, I just click on that real fast.
Oh, you just keep a little gap there so you can click on
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay. And is that when you save your desktop? Is this a desktop or is this a workspace?
It's both.
Okay.
So
So
it is a desktop. So let's see, save desktop as. Let me see what this one's called. So this one is one of these three. I don't know which one it is.
all right.
4. So there's the desktop. And then it's got workspaces on the desktop.
Oh, I see.
So this
So
whole thing's a desktop, and here are my workspaces.
okay. So when you start a desktop, you can populate the desktop with various workspaces you previously have saved.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
What else can I teach you? Oh, studies. Let's look at studies for a minute. So I've got sunny bands on here with my dynamic moving average. These horizontal lines are the open, low, and high of the session. Then I've got my dynamic moving average histogram here that gives me entry confirmations. Then I have this little one on the bottom called who's on top, and it tells me in dots, either gold dots or purple dots. It tells me whether the purple line's on top or the gold line's on top in the DMA. So, like right up here, when they're really far apart, it's easy for me to see that gold's on top. But right down in here, where they're very close together, I don't know which one's on top unless I look down at that indicator.
Why can you not just look at the histogram?
You can, you certainly can. If it's below the zero line, purple's on top.
But I think from listening to one of your other videos, the color purple, whether it's dark or light, the light purple means that the DMA is flat, or
That's
is it?
exactly right. And if you look right here, see the light purple?
Yeah, and that
And the
is
DMA is flat.
flat. And is that isn't that important in terms of some of your trade rules?
Yes, it very much is so.
Okay. So the histogram, does it tell you that? Like when it's green, does that correlate to a light purple or not necessarily?
No, no, they're
Okay.
different.
So to say that it's flat,
Look right here. Let me show you something. See this histogram, how these bars are all the same size?
yes, that means
That's
it's
telling
flat.
you flat right there. If you want to look at those and decide that those are all the same size, then that's flat.
No, I'd rather look at the dark purple and look.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that, and now I'm assuming you're basing that on some kind of angle.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the slope is above a certain angle, it's dark, and if it's below, closer
Mhm.
is it 5 degrees? Is that your
5 degrees. That's what I use. 5 degrees.
Okay. All right. And can you, while we're on that, can you talk for just a second about whether the DMA is flat or not, how that influences your trade decisions?
Sure. I believe that when the DMA is flat, price is going to come up to possibly above, possibly not above, but whipsaw right around this flat DMA.
All
And
right.
you see here, price hits it again, price hits it, hits it, hits it, hits it, hits it before it takes off. So because the DMA is flat, we're having trouble finding a direction. I call this thing caution.
So you
So,
get out
so
of the long right there.
I'm sorry.
Do you get out of your long right there at
I
that?
do nothing. When the DMA is flat, I do nothing.
Okay, so you would stay in and go long and keep your long.
I would.
Okay, and then when would you? I guess what point would you get out when it goes down and touches the interbank? No, no. If it went the other way right there, if it would have gone down,
Down.
yeah, where would you
Yeah.
have out of your
Yeah.
long?
If it touched the inner band, I'd get out.
Okay, and when you say that it touches it, this is the process to touch it. Doesn't have to close or below it or anything like that. The process just
Correct.
touch.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you're out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you stay in until you get a signal bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the histogram, does it? I can't. Does it go from purple or green to yellow at the signal bar, or where does it?
It
It does.
goes on every bar. It's showing me on every bar what the difference is between the purple and gold, and it updates every tick.
Okay, but it's not telling you when, because it's not really telling you when to go long or short.
Right. But you'll notice when I get it, here's a signal bar that we looked at earlier that's a short signal bar.
Yes.
And here's the confirmation bar. Now, what's the histogram doing on that confirmation bar?
Okay, so it turns red.
Yep.
Okay, so the
So
first,
that confirms to me that that's a short signal.
okay. And then you got out pretty quick on that trade.
Yeah. Got out pretty quick because it didn't go on down to the DMA. And it immediately turned green. I'm like, I'm out of there. Gold's on top. That's
Right.
telling me that the overall condition of the market with gold on top is bullish. This thing's not going on down to the DMA. I'm out.
And at what point would you have got out on that green bar there?
About right here.
And why there?
Because you see have you heard me talk about attractors?
Yes.
All right, so let's draw an attractor right there. Right on the high of that price. It hits here, hits here, hits here. It goes back above there. I'm out.
I see. So that's a judgment call there, really.
It
It's not
is. Yeah,
hard.
it is.
Okay,
It's a judgment that's formed from 42 years of doing this.
sure. Right. But if you were, I know you're working on your trade strategy deal, and
Yeah.
if you were, you're having to program when that thing gets out, what do you, what will you base that on in that type of situation?
I don't know yet. I'm not that far. Still
So,
working on it.
okay.
Look how
Okay.
the tractor works, though. Here we hit it again. Here we hit it again. Over here we hit it again. Hit it again. Hit it again. But
Yeah.
see, just keeps on trying to explore
Recognize,
that price. It's just exploration.
yeah, recognizing that point right there is something I probably would not be able to do as quickly as you, but I
Yeah,
understand.
well, I blur my eyes and look at it. And I'm looking for the preponderance of price evidence.
Right.
Where does that hit it again and again? And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tries of it. So that's plenty. And that's without looking to the right.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else can I show you? You want to see how to put some other kind of indicator on there?
No, I will only use TradeStation if I use, to trade sunny bands.
I see.
I won't trade because I'll use my other platforms to trade option spreads and other
Oh,
futures. That's why I'm not too worried about understanding everything about TradeStation, but I do
yeah.
need to understand enough to trade sunny bands in your DMA.
Uh-huh. Well, that's cool.
And I may not, I don't know if I'll use it on ES. I may use it to trade oil futures.
That would make sense with you.
And I get, I might use it to help me make decisions on my option spreads on stocks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know I can only day trade it using one thing really, but I can use it on daily or hourly to trade other things I don't have to pay attention to constantly.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So I know you said that's what you do, right? You trade dailies or weeklies, right? On other
Da-
things besides the.
Dailies on stocks and 5 minutes on E-mini.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the same rules, you use the same exact rules on dailies with stocks.
I do. Sunny bands and all my indicators work on any time frame, any symbol.
So tell me more about if the DMA is not flat, what does that what does that tell you? Anything?
Well, if gold is on top, it tells me that the flavor of the market is bullish.
Right.
And for gold to be on top, these two averages need to be moving upward. You see right across
But
here?
in this short case that we talked about right there, that in that case, gold was on top. You still go short,
Yeah,
right?
but I'm very, very careful because I don't believe with gold on top that the price is going to come any lower than this gold line.
Okay. So
With
you could
with
just,
purple on top, like over here, you can see the lines moving downward. So the
right,
overall flavor of the market during this period is bearish.
right. Mhm. And I guess you would have gone short up here as well.
Right.
There, and
Yep.
there,
Mm-hmm.
and then
I
again.
don't get up at that time of day. That's 4:25 in the morning, my time.
What time do you start trading?
6:30.
Pacific time?
Yeah.
Do you have any rules about like not trading on certain days depending on what kind of news is going to be released?
Yes.
Okay,
If I think that the FOMC is going to talk or there's a big CPI number or something like that, I'm very careful with what I do at that time.
right, right,
Often I'll wait till 7 o'clock until the news is cleared out, unless I
right.
can find one that's crazy.
Yeah, so can you show me how to put Fibonacci
Sure.
on your
Here's
chart?
one. Look at this. See how at the after hour market's going down, down, down. The news comes out, it goes straight up and straight back down.
Yeah,
So I'm very cautious during those times. And right here, 7 o'clock, where it starts slowing down.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you give it 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. To do Fibonacci, you go to drawing, Fibonacci price retracement lines, and then you grab the bottom that you want to use and the top that you want to use, and you click again, and there they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're in that case, you're looking to see, I mean, you'd be using this to see how on a short, how far down it might go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I can always take this, and if I wanted to look at the current price, I could take it up to there.
Sure.
Whoops, come on. No, that's the wrong line.
Oh, you don't have to redo it all. You can just click it and raise it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Let me see if I can do it. Huh. I can always just redraw it.
There.
So, yeah. So in all likelihood, it's going to at least go to the 382.
Mm-hmm. Or at least to the 23.
Yeah, that's not even worth trading. All right.
Right.
So the inner bands on your sunny chart, those are those used only as to get out of a trade?
If I see that price is sort of staying between the inner band and the outer band, for instance, here going up,
Yes.
I know that that's a really strong up move and it's not going to change. So as long as it's between those two and gold's on top, I'm real comfortable staying long. Likewise, if it's down below and it's down at the lower outer band and the lower inner band, then I know it's going to continue to move down.
And in that so in those two
Here's
cases,
another example of it moving down with the two bands, stays
yeah,
between the lower inner and the lower outer.
yes. So can you expand it once more?
Hmm.
How are you just go down on the bottom of the chart to get those little
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah. You just hover slowly down here and they pop up.
So in this instance here, let's see, where was
Now
the
I can't see your charts anymore.
oh, you can't see.
No, you can see mine, but I can't see yours.
Oh, no, I'm trying to use trying to scroll anyway.
Yeah, you can't use mine. I haven't given you control.
No, let's see. I was wondering why you didn't save that desktop to my computer a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, can you scroll to the right on this middle graph? Okay, not that far, not that far. Yeah, right in there. I just want to make sure I'm. So if you get one, like if you're long and you get one red bar, but the next bar is green, you don't get out and go short.
Correct.
But what if, yeah, I see. Okay. What if you get a red bar, a signal bar, then it's green and then a red one again? I mean, is there any kind of,
In
yeah,
that case, I'm looking at the second bar, the second red one, to see that it goes below the body of the signal bar.
okay. So it's always the signal bar. It's not if there's a green bar or two green bars in between, you don't use the open of those green bars. You're using the close of the signal bar.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
What else you got for me?
Your attractors, you put those on before your trading day.
I do. Sometimes I put them during the trading day because prices will start to congest. And when they're congesting, then that's another attractor. So
Right.
it's the preponderance of price.
Yeah. And so when you look at tractors before your trading day starts, I know you've said in some of your videos you look at Fibonacci, but I'm assuming you also look at like 50 day, 200 day, and what is it, 21 day,
Yeah,
50 day, and 200 day.
2155 and 200. Here's a chart of the NASDAQ with those three moving averages on it. And you see the thing that's different about my moving averages is just that it writes greater than 200. So that tells me price is greater than the 200 moving average. And it prints it in the same color as the moving average. I just like things to be easy for me.
And
So
is that a separate
indicator.
data that one can purchase?
Yes. And here it's painted gold because the 55 is gold and it says greater than 55. So I know that price is greater than that moving average. And here it says blue less than 21. So price is less than the 21-day moving average right here.
And do you
And you
also,
can change those numbers to anything you want and any color you want.
yeah, the other than Fibonacci and the three moving averages, do you ever draw horizontal lines on areas that just look like that the price has hit multiple times over the past several days?
Oh, yeah. And I call those attractors. They're all attractors.
Okay,
So here, horizontal line, look there. Bunch of price hits right down through there. Here, 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 here.
right, yeah,
Likewise, right up here.
yes. Okay.
Not time yet. You have to wait. My dog talks. I have a 2.5 pound Yorkshire Terrier, and she has buttons that she talks with.
Oh,
and she's trying to tell me it's time for dog food.
Oh, so you need to go.
I'm
Do you,
being bossed around by a micro dog.
well, I have like an 8 pound Morkie and that
Oh,
boss is,
cute.
yeah, I thought it was small, but it's not near as small as your dog.
Oh, she's tiny. She's tiny.
What's her name?
Pumpkin.
Compton
Mm-hmm.
Pound?
Pumpkin.
Straight, oh, Pumpkin. I thought you said Compton, like straight out of Compton.
Oh, no, 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 pumpkin.
Okay, I see. I
She's a
see.
little pumpkin.
So your pennant finder, do you run that while you're trading, day trading? Or you do you use
It's,
it for
I
your day?
don't, I don't usually. It's just too many things on a chart. And there you go. Here's some pennants. And there's one down there and a couple down here. And boy, a whole congestion of them right through here.
So the shortest time frame I can trade is 1 minute. No
No,
trade.
you can trade tick bars,
Oh yes.
15 seconds, 30 seconds, tick bars.
Yeah.
You
Have
can
you,
customize it. So I've seen people customize it to 144 tick bars.
yeah. Have you done that? Have you?
No, no, I don't do that. My trading works just fine the way I'm doing it. I don't see any reason to change it.
Right. Is there any way you can, I know the indicators all cost something. Can you share your workspace without any of the indicators on it? Um,
Sure.
so, so that it just, that way I have something to work from that's the same color, like the color backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
things like that are all exactly like you have yours.
Sure, I could do that.
And then when I do the trial, because you offer a 7 day free trial, right?
Yes, I do.
So when I do the trial,
You'll have the same workspace.
yeah, I'll have the workspace. I'll just have to, then I can just load the indicators. I'm assuming that's the best way,
That's
or
probably the best way. Do you have your chat window open?
uh, how do I do that?
On Zoom, down where you shared, to the left of that on mine, it says chat.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now I can drag that over to your chat window and you'll have it. Where is it? Let's see. No barking. I told you no barking. It's not time yet.
So is there something supposed to appear on my chat?
Cannot be because it's currently in use. Oh, great. I'm sorry, say that again.
So is something supposed to appear in this chat window?
It is, but first I have to close this workspace because it won't let me send it to you. So close workspace. Yes. All right, so now I can drag it down to you. And there it is in your chat window.
Oh, I see it. And so I can save that.
Yeah, save it somewhere to your hard drive,
Okay.
and then you can open it.
Okay. All right. So one other question, if I'm going to trade something besides ES, there's no reason for me to change anything in the workspace or desktop. I just once I get it all set up, like if you have ES in there, then I can just take the ES out and type in whatever I want to, whatever.
Yeah, do you just put CL in there instead,
I
or
don't know.
whatever it is you want to trade?
I'm not big enough boy to trade CL myself. I trade the micro CL.
Okay, MCL then.
Yeah, and I trade it. If I was going to trade the ES, I would trade the MES. But
Yeah, yeah. So all you do for that, you can still see my monitor, right?
yes,
All right, so all I do is I type MES M23 and it just changes it.
so you have to type the month.
Well, let's see what happens if I just
I
type
think you can just type.
MES and then it brings up my choices, neither of which is what I want. So
Huh,
I don't know, MES, yeah, M23. Then it
okay.
knows what I want.
I'm a little surprised that it requires you to do that, and it doesn't just
Yeah,
have the most recent or the nearest term one automatic.
yeah, I know. But it's every software has its drawbacks.
Yes, that's true.
Or
Yes.
as Katharine Hepburn said in the movie where she was playing the wife of Henry VIII, she goes, "I guess every family has their problems."
Yeah, well, that one had some serious problems.
Right? Like she got beheaded.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to run.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your
It's
time.
absolutely thank you. It's been fun working with you.
Okay, and if I want to do the 7 day free trial, I just sign up on on your site.
Yes.
Yeah. And why is it 7 days? Is that 7 business days?
No, it's 7 calendar days.
Okay, so it's a full week of trading.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And
And
I'll send when you sign up for that, I'll send you several indicators. So you'll get the DMA histogram and sunny bands and the thing that colors the bars, different colors for day and night, and who's on top and bunch of stuff.
okay.
I think I send out 6 or 8 indicators.
Yeah, okay. That sounds great.
All
Thank you.
right, very good. It's a pleasure working with you.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.